Another instance of Bacon's pushing back against highway planning came during his service on President Lyndon Johnson's Citizens Advisory Committee on Recreation and Natural Beauty, where he was chosen to chair the subcommittee on the highway and the environment. Bacon represented the committee at a Department of Transportation hearing where he made a powerful statement against the brutal tactics of the highway planners. Quote, "It is true that up until 4 or 5 years ago, the highway engineers had things pretty much their own way, and they successfully bulldozed through all obstacles on routes determined by the single value consideration of the cost-benefit analysis," end quote. After his retirement from the City Planning Commission in 1970, Bacon was much more vocal for what he called the post-petroleum city, envisioning a time when the world's oil supply is exhausted, marking an end to the use of automobiles as a mode of transportation altogether. And this was, just a year or two after he was still supporting the Crosstown Expressway in public venues. In passionate speech after speech, article after article, Bacon described a future without cars or petroleum-based transportation where electric-powered mass transit and bicycles were the predominant means of everyday trips. He wrote an article for the Philadelphia Daily News in 1975 called "Clean Air, No Gangs, No Private Cars," envisioning a car-free future for Philadelphia. He spent over 2 decades trying to plan for a world congress on the post-petroleum city that he was never able to pull off. While Bacon's anti-auto rhetoric was shocking for its time, today there are people and groups all across America fighting the auto-centric planning paradigm in favor of pedestrian-friendly urban environments. In his lifetime, Bacon never publicly argued for removing I-95, but today there are a number of individuals seeking to do exactly that. There is precedent. Cities like New York, San Francisco, Milwaukee, Portland, and Providence have, over the past 20 years, demolished expressways and replaced them with either nothing or much smaller urban-style boulevards. In Boston, the Central Artery, of course, was buried underground, creating a new park space, reconnecting areas of downtown in the famous Big Dig. In cases where highways were demolished and replaced by urban boulevards, the daily traffic on the boulevard was at least 1/3 less than on the former highway in all cases. This fact is one of the puzzling realities of transportation planning. When roadway capacity is reduced dramatically, drivers find alternate routes, but much of the remaining traffic is absorbed by the inherent efficiency of an urban grid system, not available on grade-separated highways. So cities found that removing highways allowed them to reduce traffic volumes, create more pedestrian-friendly context, reconnect urban fabric, and in some cases build new connections to their waterfronts. When he was in Philadelphia in 2008, actually as the recipient of the Edmund N. Bacon Prize, former Milwaukee mayor and president of the Congress for the New Urbanism, John Norquist, made an appeal to Philadelphians to get rid of I-95 permanently. In June 2009, Inga Saffron, the Philadelphia Inquirer's architecture critic, currently on sabbatical as a Loeb Scholar, wrote a column promoting the demolition and removal of I-95. This year, the Ed Bacon Student Design Competition, which happens annually, administered by the Philadelphia Center for Architecture, challenges students to completely rethink the I-95 corridor. I-95 has come to the end of its functional life and needs to be rebuilt. This is therefore a timely topic, as it is critical to understand our history and the forces that shape that history in order to determine how to overcome challenges of the present. PennDOT's current plans, which they're implementing, are to currently rebuild I-95 as it is built, but with some enhanced ramps and a new connection to the Pennsylvania Turnpike. In my personal opinion, in closing, this would be a devastating and expensive waste of time and money. Numerous plans, including the one developed by the Planning Commission and Penn Praxis for the Central Delaware waterfront, encourage creative ideas for reimagining the I-95 corridor in order to better connect Center City and the waterfront. Whether citizens today can demand and successfully advocate for their interests as they did in Society Hill in the 1960s is yet to be seen. Thank you.